how do you grow revenue? So dynamic pricing, price optimization tools, there's so much stuff that we're working on around that. I think that's where the next generation of software products in this industry should be focused. And I think that's where the expectations will increasingly move. Hello and welcome to the latest edition of our Self-Storage Explained podcast, where today I am joined by Mark Dawson.
Hello.
Welcome back to Store, Mark. Great to have you.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
So Mark, we're going to talk about, we're going to get your thoughts on just actually self-storage software. You've been in self-storage software now for 4 years, roughly.
Yep.
And just wanted to sort of pick your brain for the listeners on like what to think about when you're looking to choose a self-storage software platform. I thought you might have some good insights into that. When you look at self-storage software, so you do know it pretty well now in Europe and further afield as well. What are some of the trends that you see happening at the moment?
What I find interesting, I don't know, I was thinking about it the other day. I must have spoken to 1,000 plus operators now of various shapes and sizes and stages of their journey. And I think whilst it's sort of a one size fits all in terms of the high level stuff, actually a lot of the requirements are very, very different, what people need. I think what's fundamental now is that it's modern. It's not server-based, meaning you don't have to sit at a fixed computer in a room somewhere to access it. You can access it from, the sun lounger on the beach, etc. So obviously integrations with access control systems. And I think more and more people, they want that passive income, as passive as possible, really. So they want it to run itself. And I think that's what the general need was when I spoke to people. It was usually, we want something that looks good, we want something that's easy to train our staff on, and we want something that allows seamless automation.
And do you think so in the past 4 years then in self-storage software, do you think the expectations have changed?
I think as technology's evolved, people have become more needy, but their expectations are higher. So they're seeing someone with dynamic pricing, for example, and so they think, oh, dynamic pricing, that sounds good. How does that work? But actually there's whole different levels of dynamic pricing. It's how advanced you want it. So like, simple occupancy-based dynamic pricing, is competitor-based pricing as well. But most of the smaller companies will just have a more simplistic need, I suppose, for dynamic pricing and revenue management tools. Whereas as you get bigger to the multi-site operator, they're perhaps using someone like ProRise, in which case they might want the software product to integrate in with that ProRise system to offer far more advanced dynamic pricing. Yeah,
because we have some dynamic pricing in Stora, but I would sort of refer to it as it's like supply-based. So it's more around like how much supply do you have? I don't have that much left, so let's change the price. Or if you're down to your last 3 of a certain unit, you can put the price up. If you've loads of them, you can put the price down to help drive demand. But the interesting bit is demand-based dynamic pricing, really, which is the sort of I would say the next step for us as well. It's what's the demand, and things that drive the demand are competitor pricing. So you got to bring that into the product, time of the year, the weather, like there's all sorts of stuff that could affect the demand.
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously the data you've got in Store, you're seeing what times of the day people are booking as well. So it might be that between 6 and 7 in the morning on a Monday, you get a spike of activity, in which case up prices by 10% or whatever. And I think and I know another really good feature that Store have is the automated price increasing tool as well. So I think that's another thing people look for with software. You want it as hands-off as possible. You want it to be making recommendations to you. Actually, if you do these price increases, you can make X amount extra revenue.
And how do you grow revenue? So dynamic pricing, price optimization tools, there's so much stuff that we're working on around that. I think that's where the next generation of software products in this industry should be focused. And I think that's where the expectations will increasingly move.
See, I look at everything both as someone who works for a software company, but also with an operator hat on as well. I've been open about this. It's my goal to run my own self-storage business at some point.
Yeah.
So I'm constantly thinking, what would I want as an operator? And I think possibly it's very easy to overthink stuff as well and not keep it simple. I think if you're starting up, yes, you want a modern, clean website. You want to make it as easy as possible for people to book and pay online.
Yeah.
We've always gone on about as few button presses, mouse clicks, etc. as possible.
Yeah.
You want everything really optimized for mobile. And I think that's another good point as well, because if your website and online booking system isn't optimized for mobile, I don't know what the data is, but I would think 80 or 90% of people now are booking through mobile.
It's well over half across Stora. Yeah, it's well over half the bookings come through mobile.
Yeah. So I think people sometimes maybe overcomplicate like what the issue is, or hang on, and why am I not getting bookings? Possibly it's because my booking system isn't optimized for conversions as much as it could be. And I know at Stora it's always been a huge focus to actually increase that conversion rate on the booking flow.
So if you're an operator and you're not using any software yet, or you're thinking about getting started into self-storage, or you're using a piece of software and you kind of think it's time to update this or whatever, you're assessing self-storage software. What are the 2 or 3 most important things do you think to look for?
Is it cloud-based first off? Is the online booking flow really optimized for online bookings and payments? Because I think as the market becomes more and more competitive, which it clearly is becoming, more and more people are also looking for modern software with optimized booking flows. And I think if you haven't got an online booking flow that's, I guess, the Shopify of the world, then you're not going to get as many new customers as your competitor up the road.
Yep.
And then I think as an operator, processing fees is a huge thing now. And I think that's become more and more important because, profitability wise, depending on what your goal is, whether you're looking to sell down the line, whether you're looking to grow, it comes straight off your bottom line.
Yeah.
And that could be potentially 1%, 1.5% of dead money effectively you're giving away. So I think that's also really important. And then, just revenue optimization tools.
Yeah, that was a little force you snuck in there.
I know. I could sneak in a few more, but I'll keep it at 4.
So to recap then, so the 3 you're saying are cloud-based.
Yeah.
Make sure you've got a really good online booking flow that converts people at as high rate as possible. And it's another point we were probably going to come on to is about just ticking boxes of features.
Yeah.
Like, don't just look at, do you have an online booking flow? Look at the booking flow.
Yeah.
Get some data about the conversion, because the data we see suggests that there's a big difference between different products and how well they convert.
Yeah.
The third thing you said then is processing fees, which is a really good point, because some tools have additional fees that you're kind of stuck with for life kind of thing. But processing fees important one too. Then you snuck in revenue optimization. Okay. What about for an operator who's trying to grow quickly? What features matter most for them?
So I guess easy addition of new sites on the software. So it shouldn't be a tricky process to add new locations to the sites. I think in terms of cost as well, it should be quite clear at the outset what the pricing is going to be for the software. And as you grow, again, I think that's another really important point when you're looking at software. It's just future proofing the business as well.
Yeah.
Don't look too short term, because I think in an ideal scenario you choose your software and you stick with it. Doesn't always happen, but I think if you do enough research, talk to lots of customers using the software too, I think you'll know you'll be able to scale with that company.
Yeah. I think that's a really interesting point there about when you're looking at software. Don't just look at the software cost as well. You've got it, because when you pick a software product, it's often coming with a payment, like a processing solution as well. Yeah. So that's what the case with us. So with Stora, you're going to use our Stora Pay solution, which is built on top of Stripe. You got to use it, But because we've got quite big and we were able to get great pricing, we can pass on lots of savings on that.
Yeah.
But you've got to, like, when you're looking at software, you've got to see, are there any limitations around that? What fees do I have to pay to the processor as well? Like, are there any other fees? Is it just processing? Sometimes there's a Stripe billing fee of 0.7%, depending who you're with. But there can be other stuff as well. Like, so it's always important to compare the whole package, the software and the payments together if you are just looking at price. That's important.
Yeah.
Really, any operator moving to Stora, we can either match or beat their current processing fees in almost any case.
Certainly, if you're looking to grow, you need to look at those ongoing costs. 5 years down the line, if you're turning over 2-3 million of revenue, 2% of that works out
rather
a
than
significant amount of money.
Yeah. One of the things that I would, when I'm talking to operators who are thinking about scaling, it sometimes depends on how they're planning to do it. But generally what we'll see with operators who are trying to grow quickly is, in the UK at least, there's often an element of, I'm trying to automate as much as I possibly can here with this business, because I know that long term that's going to help me operate this business in a cost effective way and give me advantages over competitors. So we'll often be talking to customers who are really trying to dig into, how do I keep costs down at the site? Like, how do I automate? Like, what's the process for a move in? How can I have nobody at site so people can move in? How do I still get contracts signed? How do I still get ID checked? How do I make sure all that stuff happens? Like, that's an important thing I come across for operators looking to grow, because they might be thinking, I've got a couple of sites and I want to get 5 satellite stores. That's quite a common thing we'd see.
Yeah.
I think, like, you've already talked about it, like revenue growth. How well are you working with a company who's thinking about how do we grow your revenue for you?
Exactly. I mean, ideal scenario is you want that happening in the background, don't you?
Yeah.
You don't necessarily want an extra task of having to do all the price increases and revenue management manually.
We do like to think that, like, there's a stat from last year, our average customer grew at 32% on the top line. Now, how much of that was down to Stora, and how much it was down to the fact that they're opening new sites and everything else, and so, like, we're not taking full credit for that growth, obviously, but I do like to think that some of the stuff that we do around frees up time that they can then put into growing their business and finding new sites.
Yes.
Like, they're not getting sucked into admin, and hopefully like what maybe used to be 3 hours of time on a phone call on the phone every day taking bookings is down to half an hour, and there's 2.5 hours a day back, hopefully, as well, for them or their staff. And that's saying about putting that time into, like you said, the valuable stuff that only people can do, which is thinking about growth, thinking about new ways to market the business, talking to customers, to show them, to do things that AI or a chatbot can't do, like show empathy and help them with their move in if they have to, whatever it might be. Those sort of things that only a person can do. So do you see sometimes your role in sales when you're talking to operators that it's not just about selling the software, it's often about helping maybe advise? Do you see that as part of your role?
Definitely, yeah. I mean, it's a definite consultative sale. I suppose a lot of roles are in the self-storage industry. I think a lot of people are coming in completely new.
Yeah.
So as a software provider, I think if you're placing your trust in that provider, it's good that they can open other doors for you as well and make introductions.
Yeah, and sometimes you on that you might come across a situation where somebody has opened a self-storage software site or a self-storage site about a year ago.
Yeah.
And they've maybe put in some sort of a lock system for the gate that, like, a local gate supplier has recommended.
Yeah.
That's nothing to do with self-storage. That can be a problem then, because what'll happen then is, okay, we've got 100 customers now, I need to get a piece of software to help me manage this. Oh, I've installed like XYZ gate system. Like, well, we don't support that. There's maybe 10 in the self-storage industry that we support, and they tend to be ones that work well. But they've maybe spent 10 grand installing some other system. Yeah, it's some stuff like that if you can get talking to them early enough, maybe you can help kind of avoid some of those potential mistakes.
That's it. And I think a lot of people don't realise when they come to you with, I don't know if I've been speaking to someone in Poland or Czechoslovakia or wherever, they've got a very specific requirement for an access control system, which never heard of. It's not self-storage specific.
Yeah.
And then they've got two choices. They either rip it all out and put something else in, they run it independently.
Yeah.
Or potentially they can use the API, which I know Stora very soon to launch, which can do bespoke integrations as well.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but it's just more money and more expense. Probably cheaper to rip it out and put a new one in. One of the ones we support.
Yeah,
probably.
Probably. Is.
Okay. What about for suppliers? What do you think suppliers as a whole, so not just ourselves, but sort of everybody together? What can we do to better help operators? Do you think? You sort of touched there on knowing people and like being able to do introductions. I don't know. Is there where's the role? Are there opportunities to work better together as a supplier base?
Yeah, I mean, I think as a business store, are very good at that. I'm constantly speaking to people in the industry. Obviously, we all see each other at events. Yes, I guess you got to keep it fair as well, because you can't necessarily favour every supplier. So you just you let whoever you're speaking to know that there's a number of good suppliers in different areas, and then point them in the direction of people that offer that particular service.
Yes,
but I think as suppliers, we need to do better at making each other aware of the advantages the different systems offer. Why is Stora potentially a better solution? And then I think every supplier should be doing that, because it might be that we don't have as good as understanding as we should do with other suppliers as well. So I think it's true. Just working together as closely as we can.
Yeah,
for the benefit of the end user.
If you'd just to finish up, then, if you'd one piece of advice to someone looking at a self-storage software platform, just one piece, what would it be? Apart from call you.
Yeah. I think do your homework. Don't necessarily be completely happy in the first instance when you get answers to the questions you're asking. Really dig deeper. Do proper research. Ask that software option what their product roadmap is, because at the end of the day, it's a big investment. As I said before, you don't want to make a decision and then find yourself changing 6 months down the line, ideally. So I think look at it as a 2, 3, 4 year decision. Where is that company going to be in X year's time? What is their roadmap? And I think most modern software solutions now should be fairly open about giving you what their product roadmap and their direction. And also, I know Stora's got, they call it change log, and that's visible on the website, so anyone can go on, they can see all the previous changes to the product. And I think it's just having that transparency and seeing how fast the product is developing.
I think that's a really important point, because so much is changing in software now. Like so much, not just like AI is enabling us to move more quickly and do more as a team, and just the pace of development of our product and whatever product you're going with. It's important to look at the pace. Like, are they investing in this thing? Are they putting a lot of money into making this develop over time? Because that's what's going to affect where it'll be in 5 years' time. And if it's not something that's being invested in, it's kind of static, and you're going to be left behind. Because you've tied yourself to that piece of software. So that's a really, really important point. Like, what is the pace of investment? Cool. Thanks a lot, Mark. Welcome back again.
Pleasure.
And good to have you here.
Thank you. It's been a 3-month break from working, so my wife was very happy because I got to spend lots of time with the kids over the summer holidays.
Is the garden in good shape as well?
Yeah, the garden's getting better. There was a bit of work to do, so it's been useful.
Cool. Well, thanks a lot, Mark. Thanks very much.
Thanks.
At Stora, our mission is to help our customers build the best self-storage businesses. Self-Storage Explained is here to try and bring you the best from inside and outside the industry to help you grow your business. If you want to find out a bit more resources, go to stora.co to sign up for a demo or find out more. Or you can go to stora.co/academy for lots more resources, including our financial model and other in-depth guides to setting up and growing your business.